Hey guys, hopefully everyone is doing well. Today's target is to solve question number 5.8. Chapter name is Cost Profit Volume Analysis. And here you can see your question. Same contribution margin format is to be required to be completed. The volume of the question is in front of you. There are few parts which we are going to solve. These are actually 5 parts. And question is starting from here. Actually, there are several things which you have understood even before starting of this question. I would like to repeat few of them. First of all, you should be having in your mind contribution margin ratio. This is very important. How do you calculate? It would be contribution margin divided by sales. So here is your formula, contribution margin divided by sales. Kindly keep it and understand. If let's say answer of this question, answer of this formula is 10%. What does it mean? It means contribution margin is 10% of sales. Contribution margin is 10% of sales. Okay. So let's say that 10% is your answer and you want to 10% is your answer, and what is that? CM over sales. Now you want to know if amount of contribution margin you have in your mind, you will be able to calculate sales. If sale is already known, you can calculate your CM. I'm giving you an example. Let's say if you have 1000 as your sales and you want to know how much CM is. This 10% means 10 divided by 100 means 0.1. You can write it as well. CM is unknown and amount of sale you have 1000 and you want to know how much CM is. 1000 is being divided over here. You want to take it to the opposite side of is equal to. So what will happen? If it is divided over here, it would be multiplied at opposite side, and opposite side has 0.1, and this 1000 we are bringing to the opposite side. So 1000 would be multiplied. What will be left on right side of is equal to? That is CM. So here we can calculate 0.1 and that would be multiplied by 1000. So in this way you can calculate your contribution margin. This is very simple thing and hopefully it would be used in our question as well. Let's start. Here is our introductory line, first line, and this and that cost profit volume analysis, nothing else is written over here. The important matter is we have sale price, but it is per unit, variable per unit, contribution per unit. And this whole statement is for fixed cost, so it means your total fixed cost is 60,000. That's enough for us to understand. How many pairs of stocking must be sold for break even? What does it represent in total sales? That means we are required to calculate break even in terms of units and break even in terms of dollars. So let's go and start our question. First requirement is break even point we need to calculate, but in terms of units. And how do we calculate? Fixed cost would be divided by CM per unit. Fixed cost would be divided by CM per unit or contribution margin per unit. We need to calculate CM per unit. And how do you calculate CM per unit? For that you need to have per unit sales and you will subtract per unit variable cost. Luckily I have seen it. You have sale price per unit, variable per unit, and contribution margin per unit is already been calculated 1.2. So what we will do, we will directly come over here and we'll write fixed cost. Fixed cost is also a part of our question. 60,000 fixed cost. We can put 60,000 over here, then it would be divided by CM per unit, which is also mentioned in our question. Contribution margin per unit 1.2. So here is what, now I don't know from where it has come. Let's delete, and we need to put fixed cost, which was 60,000, and we are going to divide it with CM per unit, which is 1.2. Statement completed. Now let's calculate 60,000, and it would be divided by 1.2. So we had got 50,000 units, which is our break-even units. First we have calculated. This is our answer. Let's go back and see. First was break-even units, and 50,000 answer is written over here. Okay, now we will be calculating break-even sales. This is 1A part, and what we are going to do, break-even point, but in terms of dollar or amount. And how do we calculate break-even point in terms of amount? Fixed cost divided by CM ratio. So here fixed cost divided by CM ratio arrived. We need to have CM ratio, contribution margin ratio, and it is calculated by dividing CM over sales. Contribution margin per unit can be used, or total contribution and total sales can also be used. What we need is contribution margin 1.2 and sales 2. 1.2 is contribution margin and sale is 2. Statement completed. Let's calculate 1.2 divided by 2. So we have got 0.6, which is our contribution margin ratio. Come over here and we can calculate now our break-even point in terms of sales. We need fixed cost, which was 60,000, as we have already written over here, 60,000, and divided by CM ratio. CM ratio we have just calculated is 0.6. Statement completed. Put it on your calculator. 60,000 divided by 0.6. Alright, so we have calculated break-even sale as well. You can see the answer 1 lakh. So 50,000 and 1 lakh for first, 50,000 and 1 lakh. First answer has been completed. It's time to calculate your second answer. And let's see what second statement is saying. Prepare CVP graph or profit graph from 0 to 70,000 pair of stocks. Indicate break-even point on the graph. So what you will do, you are going to do it up to 70,000 pairs. So for making graph, very first thing which you need is you must have your units, then per unit. Okay, instead of per unit, what you will do, you will write your sales, and then you need to have your cost. Cost would be divided into two parts. One part would be used for variable. Here you will write total cost, and it would have variable cost and fixed cost, and then you will add both total to calculate total cost, FC plus VC, with which you will be able to calculate your total cost. Okay, and the next step is to make it according to your statement. You will make different calculations. So maximum 7,000 is needed and 50,000 is your break-even point. So you can write 20 5,000, then 50,000, then 75,000. So these 3 points are enough. Here you will calculate sale. Per unit sale price is given in the question, which is 2. So please keep your eyes upon screen 25,000, and you will multiply it with per unit sale price, that is 2. Understood? 25,000 multiplied by 2. And again you will be doing same thing for the next. 50,000 were the units and per unit sale price is 2. We need more space. Okay, and then 75,000 multiplied by 2 sale price, so we have got our sale price. Then variable cost, as you know, fixed cost will remains same no matter it is 25, 50 or 75. So your variable cost would 60,000 for all number of units, 60,000 and then 60,000. Okay, for variable cost, as you know, in question variable cost is also given 0.8. So what you will do, number of unit 25,000 and then you will multiply by 0.8. Understood? This is your variable cost, first variable cost. 0.8 was given over here. Okay, and now again units multiply by per unit 0.8. Then third number of units 75,000 multiplied by 0.8. Okay, in this way we have calculated our variable cost, fixed cost, sales. It's time to calculate our total cost as well, so that we can have a comprehensive conclusion about break-even point. You will see what will happen when your amount of sale is equal to amount of total cost. That would be your break-even point, and we are searching for that. Now we are going to separate these costs as well, so that it could be segregated. Fixed cost and variable cost we need to add. Fixed cost is 20,000. You need to add fixed cost 60,000. First total cost has arrived 80,000. And again you will be doing the same thing, 40,000 plus 60,000 second total cost, and then third 60,000 plus 60,000, we have got 120,000. Now you can see at 50,000 your sale is 1 lakh and your total cost is also 1 lakh. So this is the point which is called break even point. We can highlight it. This is the point where you will consider break even. Break even units are 50,000, break even sale is 1 lakh and total cost is also 1 lakh. Now when you will make it, present this upon your graph, what you will do, here your total cost minimum is 80,000, maximum 20,000. So you will put it on y-axis. To make the graph, all cost and sales will be put over here. So what you will do, sales would be written here and total cost would also be put over here. After that you need to make your y-axis decision. For that you need to put units over here. How many number of units? 25, 50 and 75. So first 25k, and then you have 50k, and then you have 75k. Okay, after writing it, it's very easy to make your graph on Excel just by putting these inputs, and your graph would automatically be made. But instead of making it automatic, I'm just making for you, as you have to demonstrate it upon your paper. Okay, so now we are going to present our sales least 50,000, max 50,000, here least. So 50,000 I think is the better input. 50, and first point is 50, then you will go little more space is needed. Okay, then you need to have 100, then you need 150 and 200. 150 is enough, I think. Little more space we are making. Okay, now we are going to make our graph by inserting lines over here. So we have first line. How would we make? Look at here. At 25 your sale is 50,000. So first point would come over here. 25 and 40. After that what will happen? 50 for 1 lakh. This is 50 and 1 lakh, and then 75 150,000. This is your 75 and 150,000. So in this way your first line would be created, and you will take extreme care about it so that it would be. Now second line would be units and total cost. Number of units you can see 25,000, and then you will put your variable cost. Again I'm selecting a shape. So first 25,000 and 80,000. 25,000 is here, 80,000 would be just like here, and then you will go for last 75,000 and 120,000. 75,000 is here, and 120,000 would be just like over here. Okay, and here you can see it should be exactly over here. So here you can see the point in front of 100 and exactly parallel or equal to 50,000 at units. So the shape would be just like this, but when you will make it on your paper, it would be more neat and clean. So in this way you will complete your CPV graph. First line was for, this line was for sales, so you can put S, and second line was for cost. So this way sales and cost, and this is the point over here is break even point at 50,000 and 100. When you are parallel to x-axis, it is going exactly towards 100. When it is parallel to y-axis, exactly going to the 50,000. So this point is called your break even point. What we have done is second point, CBP graph has been made. We are now going to see third point. Okay, and let's see what third point is saying to us. How many pair of stocking must be sold to earn 9,000 profit for the first year? So we will use our target profit formula. Target, but what we do need is to see units or sale is demanded. How many pairs? It means units. So target profit in terms of units is needed. So how do we calculate? We need to put target profit, and then it would be added in fixed cost and divided by CM per unit. This is your formula. Why I don't have to take reference from anywhere? Because I know break even per unit, break even in terms of unit formula, fixed cost divided by CM per unit is used for target profit as well. Except one change, we will add target profit in fixed cost. Now let's put this formula. For that we need CM per unit as well, and CM per unit we have already in our question, that is 1.2. So let's come over here. Our target profit was 9,000. Yes, 9,000 is your target profit. Fixed cost was, I hope, 60,000. We can close bracket over here. So these amounts at above, and it would be divided by CM per unit. I think that is 1.2. Let's confirm CM per unit. Yes, it is 1.2. Statement is completed. Now we are open to calculate it. 9,000 at 60,000 your fixed cost, and it would be divided by 1.2, which is CM per unit. So we have calculated these are number of units. If we want to earn a profit of 9,000, we'll have to make 57,500 units, third point. So you can see third point, and its answer is written over here, 57,500. Third point has also been solved, and we are now going to see what fourth point is saying. Miss Hall has one full-time, one part-time sales person working in store. It will cost her an additional 8,000 per year to convert a part-time position in a full-time. So why an owner will turn a part-time employee to a permanent employee? Obviously that employee must have some potential which has convinced the owner to turn that part-time employee into permanent. But on the other hand, owner would be in her or in his mind that by making employee permanent, there must be some benefit, financial benefit she or he can take. And the same thing is described over here. She believes that change would bring an additional 20,000 sales. So the same thing happened. If she is investing 8,000 per year, she can earn additional 20,000 from her shop by converting a temporary employee into permanent employee. But that not necessary. What is her assumption? That might be wrong or might be right. So again, should she convert the position? It means we'll have to finalize it through our statements, through our supporting statement, through our CVP approach, with which we don't have to make contribution margin format income statement. We will just use incremental approach without making income statement. We can decide whether it is favorable or unfavorable. Now remember, I have shown you this formula, and now its purpose would be sorted out. So let's start our fourth part, and I would like to repeat contribution margin ratio formula. So CM ratio, how do we calculate? We take CM and divide it by sales. In this way, sale can be calculated, CM can be calculated, and CM ratio can be calculated if any one is missing. I will try to demonstrate in simple way as well, but right now CM ratio was given in the question and we have perhaps calculated as well. Otherwise, let's calculate it. We have in question CM is available 1.2 and sale is available 2. So both are available and calculation is easy. 1.2 your CM, 2 is your sales. Statement completed. Now let's put it on calculator. 1.2 divided by 2. So we have got 0.6 as our CM ratio. What does it mean? It means CM is 0.6 of sales. CM is, or CM is equal to 0.6 of sales. Understood how it had happened? Look at over here. Sale is being divided by sale is being divided over here, and you want to take sales from right side to the opposite side. CM ratio we have calculated zero point 0.6, we have put over here. Okay, let's make this procedure clean. We shouldn't jump it, and I'm letting you know, if CM ratio is zero point 0.6, we can put CM ratio over here. So what we would have, zero point 0.6 is CM ratio is equal to CM divided by sales. Alright. Now sale is divided over here. You want to take it to the opposite side of is equal to. What will happen? Its sign would be changed. If it is divided over here, it would be multiplied if you will take it to the opposite side. At opposite side we already have zero point 0.6, and now sale which was divided at right side, when we will take it to the left side, it would be multiplied. So sales is being multiplied over here. What left on right side is CM. So this is our new formula. You can write it in this way as well. CM is equal to zero point 0.6 into sales. Hopefully you have understood it. Okay, now our problem is what? There is an increase in sales. You can see over here, sale has been increased. Sale would be increased by $20,000 if you will increase your fixed cost 8,000. So how fixed cost would be increased? Because uh, instead of part-time employee, you are converting that part-time to the permanent employee. It means you will have to pay salaries at any cost. If you are earning profit or if you are facing loss, you will have to pay the salary. So it's fixed cost, and this 20,000 is increase in your sales. So if this is sale, how much contribution margin would it have? For that we have concluded a new formula. Contribution margin is equal to zero point 0.6 sales, particularly and specifically for this question. So sale is 20,000, zero point 0.6, and we are putting sale which is 20,000. Okay, now we are putting it on calculator. 0 0.6 multiplied by 20,000. So what it had, CM is equal to zero point 0.6 over sales. 0.6 into sales we have multiplied, and we have got 12,000, which is your contribution margin. Okay, if there is a change of 20,000 in sales, your contribution margin change would be 12,000. This is your contribution margin. Again, listen to my words. If you will change your sales by 20,000, your contribution margin would be increased by 12,000. On the other hand, after contribution margin, you have your fixed cost. And change in fixed cost is also mentioned in the question, that additional 8,000 per year would be her salary of employee. So change in fixed cost would be 8,000. So you can calculate your net margin now, which is difference between fixed cost and contribution margin. Fixed cost and contribution margin. As I should remind you, very first thing is sales, then you subtract your variable cost, and then you subtract your VC, you get contribution margin, then you subtract your FC, you get net margin. Okay, so this contribution margin, how we have calculated, again I'm repeating, we know that CM is zero point 0.6 of sales, which we have calculated by CM ratio, and sale which was described, increase in sale was 20,000. It means increase in contribution margin would be 12,000. Fixed cost was increased by 8,000. This was given in the question. Now what change would come in net margin? we will do net margin is actually the difference between contribution margin and fixed cost. Contribution margin 12,000. To calculate the difference, we will subtract fixed cost is 8,000. So this is our change in contribution margin. This is change in net margin. And what was your question? It was asked that what do we want to do? Should she convert the position? So what we will say that after taking this step means converting a temporary employee into permanent employee, your net margin would be increased by 4,000. So you will say yes, it's a good thing. We should accept and adopt this new strategy with which our net margin is increasing by 4,000. Come to the question and you can see here answer is 4,000 mentioned. So in this way you have completed your fourth part. I would like to explain in a different way how this 12,000 has arrived. We wanted to see if you will change your 20,000 by sales, what change comes in your contribution margin. So it's basically relationship between two things, one of which is sales and other is contribution margin. Let's go back to the question. You can see that your sale is 2, contribution margin is 1.2. Sale 2, contribution margin 1.2. 1.2. So this was a relationship between sales and contribution margin, and what we are going to do, applying very basic, very simple unitary method. Now sale is changed by 20,000. So put 20,000 over here. You want to know what change will come in contribution margin. This is unitary method. Even 5-6 standard student can understand this thing. If sale is 2, your contribution margin is 1/2. And if change has been made, change in sale is 20,000. What change comes in contribution margin? Method is very simple. You will be cross multiplying these things. When 2 will be multiplied with x, we will get 2x, and when 1.2 would be multiplied with 20,000 is the next step. 1.2 will going to be multiplied with 20,000, and what would be the answer by multiplying 1.2 with 20,000? So you will get 24,000, and what would be on left side of is equal to 2x. Now x and 2 are being multiplied. You want to take this 2 to the opposite side. Here it is multiplied. When you will take it to the opposite side, it would be divided. So 24,000 and it would be divided by 2. And what would left over here? X only. Finally, you can put it on calculator. 24,000 divided by 2. So you have got 12,000. And what was it? Here X was under contribution margin. So you can write over here new CM would equal to 12,000, and same 12,000 we have calculated in a different way. If you can understand this method, adopt it. If you can understand by this, you can adopt it. In both ways, your new contribution margin would be 12,000. This was change in fixed cost which was mentioned in the question. It means new net margin would be changed positively by 4,000. So we will say yes, this step of changing temporary employee into permanent employee is fruitful, is favorable, is profitable, so we should adopt. Let's see if we have anything else. Yes, fifth part is complete. New part we do have. And what this part is saying, again our contribution margin format income statement has been given. Sale minus VC is CM, CM minus FC NM. This is given. What is store's degree of operating leverage? Hopefully someone of you do remember degree operating leverage. How do we calculate? We take contribution margin first, and then it is divided by net margin. Okay, so let's go back to the part. Here contribution margin is given 75,000 and net margin is given 15,000. So 75 divided by 15, 75,000 was contribution margin, and you need to divide it by net margin, which was 15,000. Statement completed. Put it on calculators. So 75,000 divided by 15,000, we have got 5. So this is our degree of operating leverage. 5 in 5 we were asked to calculate degree of operating leverage. A part is answer is 5. Okay, now B part is saying Miss Hall is confident that with some effort she can increase sale by 20%. What would be the expected percentage increase in net operating income? Use degree of operating leverage. So instead of making full-fledged contribution margin format income statement, we can use degree of operating leverage. So what is to calculate expected percentage increase in net operating income? For this, what you will do, increase in net margin. This you can calculate with degree of operating leverage. Degree of operating leverage, and it would be multiplied by percentage increase in sales. Degree of operating leverage we have calculated is 5, and it would be multiplied by increase in sales, which is mentioned 20%. Okay, let's go back, and I'm telling you where 20% is. This is your 20%. Now it was said that with some effort she can increase 20%. This was degree of operating leverage, and 20% increase in sales is mentioned in the question. Degree of operating leverage 5, percentage increase in sale is 20. This way we can calculate increase in net margin. Statement is completed. Now you can calculate it. 5 multiplied by 20% means 20 divided by 100. That means 0.2. So that means 100% change can, or you can directly calculate 5 multiplied by 20%. This is direct answer. So 100% change would come in your net margin if you will change 20% positive change in sales. That means due to increase in 20% sales, your net margin would be increased 100%. I am willing to let you do a practical thing, and we will make two income statement, one old and one new. By increase in 20% change in sales, our net margin should be increased by 100%. I'm just willing to let it prove. Though in question you are not needed to do that. 5B is here, and that's enough. Your question has been ended, and you do not need what I am going to do over here. 5A part, and let me confirm you that here your part has been completed, and you are not to demonstrate what I am going to demonstrate over here. I am confirming you here. Use degree of operating leverage concept to compute your answer. So what we have done, we have used degree of operating leverage. So practically you don't need to make additional income statement. Just to understand efficiently and promptly, we are going to do it. Sales less variable cost, you will get contribution margin, and then you will subtract fixed costs, you will get net margin. Okay, and we will be doing twice. This income statement would be made for more than once. Why? Here we will make our old statement and here we will make new statement, and we will see whether the net margin from here to here there must be 100% change. Old sale price, we will take everything from here. This is old sale price 1 to 5, 50 and 75. So here 1 to 5, 50 and 75. These are in thousands. So 1 to 3. Again to make 1000. Again to make 1000. So net margin was this, and fixed cost 60 and 15 was 60,000 your fixed cost, so you have got 15,000 as your net margin. This was your old income statement, and now when you will apply this fact, increase in sale by 20%, your net profit should be increased 100%. It means 30,000 profit should be over here. By the way, we can write over here 30,000. It is expected expected new net margin. Let's see what will happen. Okay, here is your old sales. You will increase this sales by 20%. How? 125,000. 125,000 is your old sale. Increase how? 20% would be increased. So 125,000 old sales multiply by 20 divided by 100. What is happening? This is old sale and this is increase. Collectively it would be your new sales. And obviously if your sale is changing, variable cost would also be changing. For that we have a desi formula. What do we do? Old variable cost 50,000 divided by old sales 125,000, and it would be multiplied by new sale, which is 150,000. Now we are putting one bracket over here. Please note it down. When I will enter this calculation, obviously it would be vanished and answer would appear over here. But we have done old variable cost 50,000, old sales 125,000 divided, and then answer would be multiplied by new sales. So we have got our new variable cost. Now contribution margin can be calculated, which is difference between variable cost and sales. Sale is 150,000. You will subtract to calculate the difference. Variable cost is subtracted. We have got the net margin. This is new contribution margin. Sorry, I was saying net margin, which is contribution margin. Where fixed cost will remain same. Either you are selling 125 or 150. So 60,000 would be your fixed cost. Now new net margin can be calculated, which is relationship between fixed cost and contribution margin. Your contribution margin 90,000. You will subtract fixed cost and you have got your new net margin 30,000. Okay, we have proved it. You can see 30,000 was already written over here. As we have calculated 100% would be the change in net margin if 20% sale is increasing. Can you imagine? Only 20% sale has been increased, with which our net margin has been increased 100%, which is 30,000, and we have predicted without calculation that it should be 30,000, and thankfully it had come 30,000. So in this way our fifth part is completed. A and B, 5 and 100, 5 and 100. Okay, fifth part had completed. Now fourth part was having one answer, 4,000. 4,000. Okay, this answer has been proved. Fourth part 4,000. Third part was having 57,500. This is your third part, 57,500. We are going to review everything. Then in second part, we were asked to make CVP graph. You can see graph is made over here. When you will make it on your copy, it would be more accurate. Right now it is accurate, but without any point. I have just demonstrated. This is demonstration. This is not the exact thing. I have demonstrated what you will do on your copies. Okay, and next, after second, first part was having two answers, 50,000, 1 lakh. So here 50,000 and 1 lakh. In this way, all answers are reviewed. That means 5.28 is 100% completed. All answers are matched. Thankfully, all answers are 100% accurate as well. So time for 5.28 has been ended. If still you have any query, any question regarding the solution of this question, you are very open to ask your queries. I will surely be trying to answer them instantly. For the time being, lecture has been ended. We surely be meeting again for the solution of any other question, inshallah, in future. Up till then, please take care of yourself, and I'm requesting you to please pray for me as well. Thank you very much for your time. It's time to say goodbye. Allah Hafiz.